Good morning. Today's a quick, maybe 10-minute garage update, mainly about the STi. Let's start off with here. So this is my 2-car garage and a whole lot of cars out on the street. As you'll see, Cyprus is a very dusty country, even if you have a garage. And I have cats, I like getting on my cars, but that's alright because this is the truck car which I've owned since 1998, which I have to finish. As you can see, it's AC3 base suspension, which I'll probably have to get rebuilt because it's been sitting around. That's a good carbon fibre wing from the UK, a proper downforce producing wing. That's going to get a whole heap of aero with proper diffuser, proper cutouts here. Got the air escape. Got some chunky tyres, 265 40s. That's fine, that's the way I like it. And I don't like stretch tyres. Interior needs a fair bit of work. I'll need a new seat by the time I go racing. It's fine. There's all the slicks tyres for the mono. There's my scooter, 50cc scooter. That's the best thing to travel around in the traffic. Had a wedding yesterday. All the boys took all their cars. Couldn't take the STi because its road tax has expired, so I have to get that sorted. Went with this. It was 38 degrees. It's not a car for 38 degrees. Driving slowly in traffic for a wedding. It handles it fine. All temps are good. Coolant obviously gets a bit hot. 95 to 100. Fans are kicking in like crazy. But I got out and I was just a sweat box. So that's a 2.1 litre turbo. I only want it to be, proper aero. The big Alcon brakes, which I've actually put on my STi. Oh, sorry, the music's a bit loud. Don't need to listen to that. 2.1 litre, but I'll just do it 550 horsepower. Don't need more than that for the truck that we got here. 4-cylinder, 2.1 litre, 2.5 litre, 4-cylinder, 305 horsepower, naturally aspirated. That though has to get this type of gearbox, sequential paddle shift, the GC8. So I'd rather wait and finish it in a year or two and rush, because the mono sequential is just, it's the way race cars should be. Onto the STi. Gonna do the headlights this morning. By the way, it's about 32 degrees, it's 8 AM. So I think by shortly it'll be 36, 37, so over 100 Fahrenheit. So here it is, sort of how I want the engine bay to look. Got a bit more titanium, as you know, I like titanium. That's from WC Lathe Works in the US. Sent it to me, got it the other day. So what do we got? RCM 700. So it's a forged 2.35 litre with a billet crank, Omega pistons. I'll put up the spec sheet one day, but it's not your normal pistons. It's everything's top notch. Yeah, so billet 2.5 litre crank, EJ22, as it says somewhere down in there. Can't see it. EJ22 down there. It's Owen Developments HTA76, stock location turbo for the moment. Whether I go rotated, we will see, because the engine feels so strong as is. There's like, should be good for 550, 560 on pump fuel with probably equivalent torque, and it just lights up quickly. The turbo blanket, this is from Xtreme Motorsport. It's actually not their turbo blanket, that's actually the exhaust blanket which goes on the downpipe. But the turbo blanket I ordered was the TD04 size, and that Owen Developments turbo is a bit big. just fits, and it wouldn't fit, so I put that up for sale and we use that blanket. Also under there is another piece of heat shielding. I'm going to get their little blankets for the clutch and brake. The plastic's looking a bit old and worse for wear. Don't know if I should see if I can get a new one actually. Now that I look at it, even if I cover it, it's looking a bit old and dry and brittle. Dry sump, of course, for a street car, why not? But that is a GC8 tank. They've now, RCM have designed a GDB tank which fits better, fits around the leg down there, so that one will come out. We'll go onto the GC8 because I'll do that dry sump and put the proper one on there, but that might be a few months away. Bloody flies at the moment. So yeah, so basically it's a new engine, so it's a EJ22. Obviously the 2.2 litre block isn't new, they used blocks, new Spec C heads. Don't remember the camshaft specs, I've got them written down, but it's all new. Your clear timing covers from RCM. I don't know if you can see dry sump, maybe not, maybe you can't see down there, the pulleys. Surge tank. So what I did with fueling, I've got an AEM in-tank pump 340 litre per hour. At first I was just going to run with that with an in-tank surge tank from the Spec C, but then I thought, don't like that. I didn't want a surge tank in the boot, so my friends at Chevron Motorsport in the UK supplied me with that surge tank with another AEM 400 litre per hour pump, 1300cc ID injectors. Say 1300, which everybody say, oh, but you can't produce enough power on that. Yeah, you can. You know, you don't need 1700s. On the 2.5 that was in here with the 650s could produce 520 horsepower at 90%, so you don't need 1700s or 2100s. Honestly, people go too big with their injectors instead of looking at their mapping properly. That's just me. I'm not an expert. Well, after 20 years or more, I've sort of done a lot of different things, so I'm just speaking from my experience, but mappers know better and mechanics know better. But you know, but I did 1300 as well, and that will be my cap. So I'm not going to go bigger injectors. If you know, whatever they cap out to, if I decide to change turbo, it'll be based on how much they can flow rather than going for new injectors again. This is a Chevron Motorsport, again UK, combined radiator oil cooler. So the oil cooler's here, you can see the weld there. So it's the oil cooler side all the way down. I'm going to change these fans. For some reason I've got Mishimoto fans. I'm going to put some Spal ones on there just to be sure that they're doing the right job. Obviously the 6-speed, which is still going up strong from 20 years ago, never opened it up. Xtreme clutch from Australia, twin plate. I'm not sure, even though it's new, I don't know if it's because it's new, it seems to be slipping a bit, which is a bit strange, so maybe it just needs to bed in, but I'll see how that goes. I always use the Greddy twin plates, but I thought I'd try something different because these are a bit cheaper. Obviously I'm concentrating a little bit on airflow, so I've closed off, and I've still got to do that there because I want air to be forced into, got to think of all these things. I need a new number plate. That's going to be closed with a proper diffuser so air doesn't go underneath. I've got to fix these. I'm going to give them polish now. These are actually, which you don't see on a STi, these are from Australia. I bought them for my GC8. They're actually high beam driving lights, which come in handy in Cyprus and the dark mountain roads when you want to go out driving when there's no one else around. My favourite wheels, Simmons OM from Australia, which I had on my GC8. They were 18x7s and now 18x8.5 because I bought a new lip. Don't know if you can see the brakes, a bit dark in there. The Alcon 365mm Motorsport brakes, which were destined for my GC8. They squeal, they rattle, They do every noise possible at low speed, but they stop just by looking at the brake pedal. Interior is just stock, but because I look after my cars, it's in pretty good condition, but we won't worry about that. Find it really strange after the Ford, that's my daily diesel ST, about 230 horsepower. That's my daughter's Honda RS hybrid fit, about 120 horsepower. I bought it for, it's pretty good. Rear brakes, again, Alcon 343mm, so again it fills up the 18-inch properly. With these AD08R Yokohamas, the wide body. A bit of problem with some robbing on here, so I've got to look at ride height, corner weights. I'm going to get it all done properly. I love this way that just love that angle on it. My friends NAF Bodyworks who got married yesterday, Orestes and Joanna, congratulations again. He does the bodywork on that. Carbon roof has to go on, which will match this carbon piece here. So yeah, it's just a quick rundown. Hopefully once I get it on the road, allowed to drive it, I'll get some driving videos, although it's only running in, so it won't be any boost. Oh look, here's my cat. Here's his little bow tie collar. He's about 14 years old. He's the king of his domain, or so he thinks. He wants a belly rub. Okay, give you a belly rub. So that's it. Thanks for watching.